up in Grand Rapids said, let's do pay-as-you-go. So rather than taking out any debt, let the income come in. We'll put it in a restricted account at the college. And then as you incur your expenses related to training, we'll just keep a track of that. And as the money is in there to pay those off, we'll do that. So it really is not representing a contingent liability for the college, which is pretty innovative. And that is, in fact, the very idea we want to use with BioDry. BioDry is a brand new company. It is very, very interesting. You've probably been reading about it in the newspaper, but they have a technology now, and I hope this doesn't turn your stomach, but they have designed a technology that allows to reclaim waste products and turn them back into the environment in a healthy way. So whether it be related to production of equipment or making rubber tires or some kind of chemical production or even human waste or animal waste, it can be broken down to its component parts and returned back into the environment in its preferred state. So fresh, clean water, solids that maybe would be used in fertilizer, maybe other components could be used in animal food, whatever. But they've designed this technology, and it's somewhat portable. And they are not interested in selling this equipment, but actually leasing it to the different companies, whether high production or small-scale production. So it'll be very interesting to learn more about that. We're looking at a significant number of employees, either in direct or indirect jobs, meaning direct somewhere in the couple hundred range for this particular company, but it's also believed that they would draw other companies, so indirect jobs with neighboring companies might be able to participate in the program as well. Still somewhat significant. We've got another handful of other communities, businesses that we're looking at who may come forward and want to capitalize on the New Jobs Training Program. If you want to know more about it, this is the webpage to take a look at. I appreciate Brad and the folks in CCE putting this information together and getting it up. It's a resource that we refer companies to who might be interested in participating in this. I think a great benefit for encouraging new job expansion or creation of new jobs overall. Let's talk about the budget and where we're headed for next fiscal year. Of course, we've had a budget adjustment based on revenue streams and expenditures for FY10. Already we're working on FY11. We actually started the process early on conceptually before the Christmas break. This is where we are now. Essentially, we are setting targets for our budget. We are using Ouija boards, the Super 8 ball, rolling dice, whatever. We're trying to come up with ideas that would suggest to us what is the best guess we can make with regard to where the legislature is going to be and where the governor is going to be, and even at the federal level. So we're using the best intelligence that we have to be able to define those targets around all of the productivity areas as well as revenue and expenditures. And we have a planning session next Monday. We're going to continue to have a series of planning sessions as we ramp up to the May board planning session to put our final recommendation to them. Ultimately, the Board of Trustees will approve a proposed budget for fiscal 11, meaning starting in the fall and ending June 30th of 11. They will do that at the June board meeting. So it is a very painful process that we're going through. I applaud all the members who are serving on the President's cabinet as we go through that, and we're plowing through lots of data and information and ideas. And our continuing focus is that we are committed to student success. And so as we look at making decisions, we look at our value statements, we look at our mission and vision, and also positioning our organization and realizing that all of the easy decisions have long since been gone. They've already been taken away through the low-hanging fruit process, if you will. And now we have difficult choices that we need to make. And we will do the best that we can, and we'll be sharing that information as more and more of that is developed in the days ahead. Some community connections. We continue to realize that as part of our mission and reaching out to the community. So these are a number of things that we're working on. I and some others are running around trying to raise additional money from other non-standard sources, if you will. So we spent some time with the Kresge Foundation over in the Detroit area, we've been having meetings with the Knight Foundation through our foundation, looking at other donors. Rebecca has been writing a boatload of grants as we try to reach out and capture some of that federal stimulus money. We are doing the best we can to be able to augment depleting revenues for our institution. The Kresge visit is of particular interest to me because they are interested in creating additional alignment within community colleges, particularly as it relates to student success for particularly low and middle income individuals as well as persons of color. This one is particularly nice because there's a nice a linkage between the Achieving the Dream initiative, which we already have about 2 years under our belt, and planning with some additional modifications there to even enhance our effort in ensuring student success in the 2 years we have remaining in that grant. There's also a possibility with Kresge. We were talking with both the Kresge Foundation, and also we had some conversations with the Mott Foundation. And Mott is suggesting, the Charles Mott Foundation is suggesting that a year from now they may open up another round of grants for breaking through. There are a half a dozen community colleges in the state right now that have a breaking through grant sponsored by the Mott Foundation. It's essentially focused on adult education, adult learning. And again, that would be a nice complement to the work that we're already doing. I don't know if you've been to the Kresge Foundation headquarters over in Troy, but it's an impressive place, entirely green, platinum green building. Actually takes an old farmhouse and some other things, and really is a model, I think, in terms of trying to have a green facility, one that's balanced with nature. American Association of Community Colleges, I want to let you know that we are in conversation with them. I was called to Washington to participate in a small group focused on accountability. There's a new word for you. We've been focusing more and more on that as an institution, as you know, through board ends, through monitoring reports, Achieving the Dream, AQUIP and our quality process, and Sequin efforts. Now, here's one more. And the American Association of Community Colleges, all 1,200 of us, are trying to grapple with the same things we're doing at the ground level, the trench level, so to speak. So the Lumina Foundation and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation seeded this project and have brought about I would say maybe 30 of us together, 35 of us together, presidents and other individuals, to say, what does a voluntary approach, not mandated, but voluntary approach to defining accountability for our various publics look like? Is that the number of graduations we have? Is that persistence from one semester to the next? Is it the type of individual coming through our institution? Is it reduction in cost? What are the metrics for evaluation to determine the efficacy of any community college? That's the question that is before us. It's about an 18-month process that we're going forward, and some of the members that actually serve on this task force with me are also AQUIP institutions, so that's a nice feature. Some are within the 19-state region of the Higher Learning Commission, so that's another benefit. There will be some pilot testing for community colleges. I'll need to take a look at that and talk it over with our college leadership here to see if that makes sense for us to consider being a pilot institution. There are lots of resources that would come around that with the Gates and Lumina Foundation, but we'll know a little bit more about that. The earliest that these pilots could be tested would be beginning sometime in the late fall, perhaps as late as the beginning of the winter semester next year. So we'll see how that goes. Also wanted to give you an update about South Central Michigan Works. As you know, we're a fiduciary agent for South Central, and they have a great partnership with our organization as it relates to corporate and continuing education, CCE and Valerie Schuette's relationship with them. They have signaled to us a continuing interest in improving our relations as we try to reach out to the business and industry community. This is also the No Worker Left Behind program, so we thank them for their reference of individuals who qualify under the No Worker Left Behind program, something started a couple of years ago now, and referring these individuals to Jackson Community College for either credit or non-credit instruction. So in the next 18 to 24 months, the president of South Central Michigan Works and I have agreed to have a longer-term view about what is the best way to talk about workforce development and training for unemployed, underemployed, or currently employed individuals, and how do we deploy federal resources and state resources to best meet the needs in the Tri-County region that are the same territories that both of our organizations serve. So that's an exciting thing. You'll be hearing more about that in the months ahead. Regarding strategic planning, we are continuing to make great progress on that. I appreciate Diane Fenby and her leadership, and some of you in the